When I make chicken with pasta like this, everyone asks me for the recipe. For today's recipe, I'm gonna cut 2 chicken breasts into cubes. Then I'll add a tablespoon of butter to a pan and spread it all around. After that, I toss in the chicken. This part is super important to get the chicken just right. Once it gets that golden color, I'll add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of paprika, and a teaspoon of oregano. Mix everything real well. Meanwhile, I'll grab another pot and fill it with water. I'll add a teaspoon of salt and 250 grams of pasta. Then I'll let it cook for 15 minutes. Now I'm gonna take the chicken out of the pan and set it aside. And before I forget, tell me what city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Travis Whitaker from Mississippi. I'm so glad you're enjoying our recipes. In the same pan, I'm adding another tablespoon of butter and spreading it. Well, then I'll saute half an onion chopped into cubes. This recipe is just so good. I'll also add 2 garlic cloves. These ingredients make all the difference at the end. Once the time's up, I'll drain the pasta. Then I'll add 100 grams of mushrooms. Do you like adding mushrooms to your recipes too? I'm pouring in 1 cup of heavy cream, 3/4 of a cup of milk, a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. Mix it all up. Always keep the heat low so it doesn't burn. Now I'll add back the chicken I cooked earlier. Ever seen a recipe like this? Send it my way so I can try it too. Then I'll add in the cooked pasta and mix everything with the sauce. I love recipes like this, perfect for busy weekdays. Now I'm gonna top it with Parmesan to taste. The texture that Parmesan brings is amazing. I always use it. Then I'll serve up a portion. This recipe is not only super easy to make, it's also super cheap because we usually already have the ingredients at home. Send this to your friend who's into chicken. They'll love getting this recipe from you.
I put butter on the meat. I learned this at a 5-star restaurant. In a pan, I'll add olive oil, then a 1 kilogram pork shoulder, and we'll fry until both sides are sealed. How do you make pork shoulder at home? I'd love to know your recipe. This is the ideal point. After that, I'll make a cut in the middle of the meat and set it aside. You will see how delicious this recipe is. Stay with me until the end. You won't regret it. In this container, I'll add 100 grams of diced ham, 100 grams of diced mozzarella cheese, 50 grams of olives, 1 diced tomato, 3 chopped garlic cloves. I'll add a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and mix all these ingredients well. This recipe turns out incredibly delicious. Make it at home, and then come back here to tell me what you thought. I'm sure you and your whole family will love it. After doing this, I'll stuff our meat with this mixture. Then I'll close it using toothpicks and tie it with string. Having done that, I'll transfer it to a baking dish lined with parchment paper, then brush melted butter over the meat, season with salt to taste, black pepper, and paprika, and spread it well with my hands. Finally, I'll place 6 potatoes spread out in the dish, Then drizzle olive oil over them and add salt and black pepper to taste. And I'll take it to the oven at 356 degrees Fahrenheit for an hour. In the meantime, in a pot, I'll put a cup of dry red wine, 2 tablespoons of plum jam, and mix until the jam dissolves. When that happens, I'll add a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of paprika, and mix until the sauce thickens slightly. And this is the ideal point. The meat has roasted, and I've taken it out of the oven and the dish. I'll cut it into strips, and we'll serve it with the sauce we prepared. Look how amazing the result is!
How didn't I learn this before? A genius trick I learned from a friend in Italy. To start today's recipe, we're gonna open up a chicken breast, just like I'm doing here. Cover it with some plastic wrap and use a meat mallet to tenderize it. I bet you've never tried anything like this before. It's super easy, practical, and fast to make. Now we're gonna cut the chicken using a pot lid as a guide, just like this. Then move it into a bowl with all-purpose flour, just enough to coat it. Even your friends and family are gonna ask where you learned to do this. Make sure to cover it well with flour. In another bowl, crack 3 eggs, add 1 teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of black pepper. Mix it all up using a fork. Now add 3 minced garlic cloves, parsley to taste, and half a cup of Parmesan cheese. Oh, and before I forget, tell me what city you're watching from so I can give you a special shout out. Today's shout out goes to Emily Bennett from Chicago. So glad you're loving our recipes. In a pan, add 1 tablespoon of butter and let it melt. Now coat the chicken in the egg mixture we made, making sure it's fully covered, then place it in the pan and let it fry. Flip it carefully so both sides cook evenly. Once it reaches a golden color, take it out. In the same pan, pour in 1 cup of chicken broth, add 3 minced garlic cloves, and squeeze in half a lime. Add parsley to taste. After I learned to cook chicken this way, I never wanted to eat it any other way. Add another tablespoon of butter and stir it in. Place the chicken back in the pan and let it cook in the sauce. Be careful not to burn it. I'm sure this will become your favorite go-to dinner. Perfect for those days when you don't have a lot of time to cook. My family loves it so much, they ask me to make it almost every week. It's literally impossible to eat just 1 piece. I'm sure it'll become a regular dish at your place too, just like it did for me. I put ground beef on top of the potatoes, and the result was incredible. For our recipe, I'm going to cut 3 potatoes into small slices. I don't know how I went so long without this delicious dish on my table. Now I make it every week. Everyone at home loves this meal, and whenever I make it, there's nothing left. Next, I'm going to add olive oil to a pan. This recipe is going to impress you. I'll transfer our potatoes to the pan. This is an amazing meal. Quick, easy, with few ingredients. And the best part, it's delicious. There's no reason not to make it at home and enjoy this treat. I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 of paprika, and 1 of oregano. I'll mix until our potatoes are well seasoned and fried. Once fried, I'll place our potatoes in a glass dish. Guys, I love the result of this recipe. In the same pan, I'm going to add a little more olive oil. I'll add 1 diced onion and also 3 minced cloves of garlic. I'll stir until our onions are well browned. Next, I'll add 500 grams of ground beef. I'll mix our ingredients until the beef cooks a bit. Once it's like this, I'll add another teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 of paprika, and 1 of oregano. I'll mix all our ingredients so the beef becomes even more flavorful with our seasoning. To finish, I'll add half a cup of tomato sauce. I'll stir a bit more so the beef absorbs the flavor of our tomato sauce. Now, I'll place our ground beef on top of the potatoes. Take the chance and tell me if you have any different recipes using potatoes and ground beef. I'd love to know more about your favorite meals. This is the perfect meal for Sunday lunches with the family gathered around, and I'm sure it will be the highlight of the day because the result is so wonderful. I'll add mozzarella on top of our dish. I have no doubt it will become one of your favorite meals as well. The result is so amazing, it's sure to impress you. I'll bake it at 360 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. Once the time is up, our recipe will be ready. I have no doubt you'll come back to thank me for teaching you this wonderful lunch. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. See you in the next video. Bye. I learned a genius trick from a friend in Italy that everyone should know. I'm starting off by cutting up 250 grams of pasta. It's already cooked in this case. You're gonna fall in love with this way of making it. Once it's all chopped, I'll add 4 eggs into this bowl, 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper. Now I'll mix everything really well so it's all nicely combined. This is the kind of dish that turns a simple meal into something unforgettable. Even if you're not super confident in the kitchen, you'll pull this off no problem. I broke it all down step by step so you don't get lost along the way. Now, I'm tossing the chopped pasta into the bowl. And hey, if you make this at home, send me a pic. I'd love to see how it turns out. I'm adding 150 grams of diced mozzarella cheese. Stir it up gently with a spoon. Let me know what city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout-out. Today's shout-out goes to Jason Miller from Austin, Texas. So glad you're enjoying the recipes. Now I'm pouring in the egg mix. Give it one more gentle mix. It's so good, it'll disappear in no time at your house. In a pan, I'm adding 150 grams of diced bacon. Keep stirring while it cooks. We want it golden and crispy. I love cooking with bacon. It adds so much flavor. Look at that! This is the perfect point to stop. Now I'm layering the pasta mix right on top. Spread it out nice and even with a spoon. This recipe has a few mixing steps, but take your time. It'll all come together perfectly. Put a lid on it and let it cook for 5 minutes. After that, I'm using a plate to flip it. But we're not done yet. This is that recipe for when you need something quick and crazy delicious. Look how gorgeous it's turning out. And yes, I'll show you the final result. Now I'm adding a bit more cubed mozzarella cheese. Sprinkle on some parsley to make it even better. Cover and let it cook for 5 more minutes. Done. Time to plate it. Isn't it beautiful? This is perfect to wow your family or friends. Just slice it up and serve. The smell? Out of this world. Even your neighbors will want to know what's cooking. It's a great choice if you're trying to eat better without giving up on flavor. And check out that texture. I just know it tastes amazing too. If you like special, one-of-a-kind recipes like this one, keep following. I've got tons more secrets to share. This one's perfect for gathering the people you love. I promise it's gonna be a meal to remember. Everyone's gonna be impressed when they see what you can do in the kitchen, and I'm right here cheering you on. With just a few ingredients and a little time, you've got something absolutely delicious. You don't need hours in the kitchen to whip up something this good.
I learned a genius trick from a friend in Italy that everyone should know. I'll start by cutting 200 grams of cooked pasta into smaller pieces. Now I'll cut 200 grams of mozzarella, first into thick slices, then strips, and finally cubes. In a bowl, I'll add 4 eggs, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and beat well. Tell me, what pasta recipe is the biggest hit in your home? I'd love to hear it. In a bowl, I'll combine the chopped pasta. And before I forget, let me know what city you're watching from so I can send you a big hug. Today's hug goes to Olivia Bennett from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm so happy you're enjoying our recipes. A portion of the mozzarella and the egg mixture. And stir everything well. In a pan, I'll fry 200 grams of bacon cut into cubes until golden and crispy. Next, I'll pour in the pasta mixture, spreading it out evenly. Cover the pan and let it fry for about 5 minutes. After that, I'll flip it using a plate. Add the rest of the cheese. I don't know about you, but I love using bacon in pasta recipes. It adds the perfect flavor. Cover again and let it cook for 5 more minutes. Make this recipe at home and come back to tell me what you think. I'm sure you and your whole family will love it. This is such a quick and easy recipe, perfect for those days when you want something fast, and the result is absolutely delicious.
I don't know how I didn't discover this fried egg recipe sooner. To start, I'll place 7 beaten eggs in a pan with plenty of hot oil. I'm sure you've never tasted a dish as delicious as this one before. It's practical, easy to make, and most importantly, incredibly flavorful. You simply can't resist this delight I'm making. Once one side is fried, I'll flip it so both sides cook evenly. This way, our recipe turns out fantastic. When both sides are fried, I'll remove them from the oil and place them on a plate lined with paper towels to absorb any excess oil from our ingredient. Next, I'll transfer everything to a large bowl. Then, I'll add 1 cup of breadcrumbs. While mixing with our breadcrumbs, I'll cut the eggs into pieces to make sure everything blends well. And before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a special shout-out. Today's shout-out goes to Bruno Mendez from Texas. I'm so glad you're enjoying our recipes. I've never used breadcrumbs the same way again after learning this dish. Now I'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 diced onion, 100 grams of fried bacon, and finally, parsley to taste. I'll mix all our ingredients until they're completely combined. These tips are exclusive. Keep following me and you'll never struggle with dinner ideas again. I'm here to help you with the best preparation methods to impress your loved ones with a delicious meal. If you like this preparation, you'll love my next tips. I still have many more special recipe secrets to share with you gradually. Stay tuned so you don't miss anything. These fried eggs are the perfect example of how simple can also be sophisticated. A dish that pleases both in taste and presentation. It's bound to become a staple in your home. Then I'll place some of our mixture on a plate. With every bite, you'll taste the perfect balance between the crunch of the breadcrumbs and the lightness of the egg. It's a combination that works for any occasion. If you've never tried fried eggs with breadcrumbs, you're missing out. It's a simple but incredibly tasty recipe, making it the perfect side dish for your meals. A great option is adding some grated mozzarella cheese when mixing. It's optional, but elevates the dish into something extraordinary. I absolutely love this recipe, and I'm sure you and your whole family will too. I make it every weekend, and whenever I do, nothing's left over because the result is so amazing. The aroma of this meal is so irresistible that it makes everyone's mouth water before it's even ready.